Imagine being the top fighter in the UFC, a top contender, an up-and-coming striker, but you're Ian Garry.
Everybody hates Ian Garry. Here's why. Now, Ian Garry was in the green light. He was an up-and-coming striker. A lot of people generally liked him up until his press conference with Neil Magny, wherein he made beef out of fucking nothing.
I'm a new generation of fighters coming up in this division. You see all the new youth in this division. There's me, there's Jack Della Maddalena, there's Shavkat, there's Kamzat.
And the way that he trash talks, what he says is really common, but the way he says it, it's very presumptuous. And that a lot of people didn't like how he says some things. He looks very arrogant and very Conor McGregor copy type. Especially when he was copying Conor McGregor's lines.
You can play
You'll do
all you
fucking
want.
nothing. You'll sit there, you'll shut up and you'll do what you're told.
Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
It was all well and good up until he brought up that he thought that Neil was a child abuser because of the press conference that he had the day before.
I have to ask Neil Magny a question today. He's to sit there and reflect on the that he said, because what he said was ridiculous.
There's a whooping that you give your son now, like to kind of teach him life a little bit. And being a father, I've become quite accustomed to that kind of whooping now, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to giving on Saturday. I mean, I know he's out there, he's very cocky, he's feeling himself, everything else like that, but every once in a while, as dad, you got to step in like, hey, settle down, son. I got this. You got some growing to do.
Does this sound like a child beater to you? It doesn't to me. It doesn't to me, but Ian Garry thinks so. And he's been stretching this shit. He's been stretching this shit for the whole of the press conference. This didn't really make him look any better than Neil. As the comments said that, I'm Irish, and I think Neil made a tit of himself in this press conference. And then the fight happened. Ian Garry won. And then this guy, out of fucking nowhere, just flips him off. Just flips him off. Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to do that shit, man? I don't get it. Maybe he was beaten or abused as a kid. Like, in the embedded video, it seems that he likes his kid a lot. However, these two guys have very different lives and have very different ways of raising their son. One doesn't believe that sons shouldn't get an ass whooping, and the second one believes that sons should get an ass whooping. However, that's only when they did something bad. I don't see that as child abuse. Do you? I don't know. Anyways, Ian Garry pushed that narrative, and then after that, it was all downhill. I mean, Neil Magny didn't even do much. All of this seems forced and fake, and everybody knows that. The speaking in the press conference, the flipping off your fighter, and when he was backstage in the embedded series, when he talked about the pursuit of knowledge.
And has a thirst for knowledge to learn. There is no argument that the guy that travels and learns and has that thirst and gets those bits of knowledge will be the better fighter.
As if he's so sagacious that he knows all of these things. It all seems forced, and fans notice that. But that's not the only reason as to why people hate Garry, or Ian Garry. Recently, been kicked out of Renegade Gym, Leon Edwards' gym. And he says that Leon Edwards is insecure that about him, I think. I think that's what he says.
Leon's phenomenally talented, but I believe he's a little bit insecure in his own mindset.
And then Patty Pimplett comes out and says that fucking Leon Edwards knocked Ian Garry out in sparring last year.
Could be Shavkat, yeah.
Ian Garry's makes you want Shavkat, Leon. He'll thank you for that.
Yeah, no, Ian Garry doesn't deserve a title shot, lad. Come on. I mean, And Leon's already knocked him out in training, so we don't need to know about that.
Is that true? Is that true? Well, there's a video of his wife proving it.
Avoiding telling the truth. It just doesn't need to be told sometimes. Anyone watch the Leon Edwards Usman fight? Anyone know how that went? One of the best head kicks in the UFC. Yeah, I might have felt what that kick felt like on Wednesday morning.
Also, a lot of the fighters have come out against Ian Garry.
Like, I did feel that that's a disrespect. I'm not going to take it personally, but I did feel like, hey, I was doing something that was really important for me. I posted about it, and he chose to make fun or whatever out of it, you know? So I was like,
he's very much a me kind of fighter, whereas I've always been a we kind of fighter, focus on the team more than myself. And he's more of a, hey, I know exactly what to do. I'm the guy who steps inside the cage kind of guy. Man, I don't know about the gym etiquette. I mean, he doesn't show up on time all the time, and he doesn't show up at every practice, which really ticks me off. But that ticks me off about anybody else. There's only a few people that I would actually say have perfect gym etiquette when it comes to that, Gilbert Burns being one of them.
Did you also know that before he was kicked out of Renegade Gym, he was also kicked out of his previous gym, the KF Gym? So, if, and only if, there's two gyms that kicked you out, maybe it's not because of the two gyms that's the problem. Maybe it's not inside of the two gyms that's the problem. Maybe it's you. I don't have a pursuit of knowledge, but maybe. Those are all well and good. Up until Sean Strickland has called out this fucking guy.
You guys, I never talk about anybody's spouses, but this shit ain't right. It ain't fucking right. I gotta talk about it. Ian Garry, I remember when I met you, dude. It was in New York. You were this fine-ass girl. She had the little nipple coverings. We all fucking seen it, right? Everybody fucking seen it. But I remember thinking to myself, there ain't something right about that girl. There's something about that woman that ain't fucking right. The way she walked, the way she looked, the way she talked, I knew it. Now I'm finding out you're 26, she's fucking 40, the ex-fucking husband lives with you, you took the last name, motherfucker, she wrote a book on how to be a wag. I didn't know what a wag was until now, dude. This shit ain't right, dude. She's a succubus. You gotta run away, bro. Hot girls are a dime a dozen. We'll get you one, we'll get you ring girls, we'll get you two at the same time, bro. You gotta pull the ripcord, man. It ain't fucking right, my friend. You gotta pull that fucking ripcord. I'm here for you, the Making News here for you. Do the right things, Ian Garry. Fucking pull that fucking ripcord.
Oh my god. Dude, Sean is just like immensely fucking funny. But yeah, all of the things that Sean has said in this are true, except for the fact that his ex-husband lives with them. So yes, she is a succubus. I'm kidding. She did write a book about being a wag. Yes, she is 40, while Ian Garry is 26. Yes, Ian Garry did take the last name of his wife. And yes, she is very close with his ex-husband, who's their nutritionist. So this is what we have. Ian Garry, who's a superb striker, wifed up a 40-year-old woman, took her last name, is constantly interacting with the wife's ex, because the wife's ex is the nutritionist. Wifed up a girl that calls herself a wag, and that's basically what we have. He is the next Will Smith. Anyways, that's why everybody hates Ian Garry. He told Neil Magny to shut the fuck up while he himself wifed up a 40-year-old, got her last name, and a 40-year-old that calls herself a wag. Anyways, that's why everyone hates Ian Garry. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.